Hey everybody, welcome back to the Noita save file. So obviously this is not what I said I would upload today, but I literally don't have the time to edit the Artcraft video in the slightest, and it's 2 hours long. So I figured I might as well use what time I have to make this and a quick thumbnail. If you don't remember, this is a Noita save that I was just running through and getting as strong as possible pretty quickly with, just because I wanted to do a bunch of testing with certain spell combinations. Eventually, of course, there's a whole lot of stuff I want to do with this world, but it's mostly just learning the new, or not learning the new, but learning new stuff. I want to get better, is my point. So I've created this incredible set of wands. This is the kind of thing that I don't usually make. When I do wands, I don't usually use these super high delay ones, so I've been trying to get better at using different wands. And because of the situation, I'm obviously able to basically cheat by throwing on a bunch of reduced recharge times and whatnot. But I want to find an effective way to do higher risk wands. I just got to figure out how. Now, obviously, I want to use the perk altar at some point, because I do need to remove some of the stuff that I've got. But that is unrelated. Right now, there are a couple of things that I do kind of want to see and test. So, one of the things that I'm pretty sure most people are aware of is there's a bug in the game where if you're moving fast enough or you just have bad internet, not bad internet, but a bad device, game lags out and might have rendering or loading issues. Funny thing is, those issues can actually cause the game to duplicate entities and chests and stuff. So what I want to try and figure out is if there's a consistent way that I can get that to happen. Because if so, then I can find... If so, I can find a way to consistently and repeatedly duplicate certain things that you normally don't have in high supply, like the worm crystal, let's say. And with access to that, I can just screw around a little bit more than I normally would. That's sort of it. Nothing too crazy, of course, but it is certainly something that I was interested in mentioning. And one of the major goals that I wanted to fulfill during this playthrough. Did I already have Breathless? I don't think I did. Oh, I did. Okay. Oopsie doopsie. There's another chainsaw here. I don't think I need more chainsaws right now. Actually, I could do with another chainsaw. I'm sure that's fine. Oops. Frick. Oh, come on, Mr. Context. You can't possibly be this stupid. To be honest, I really haven't played Noita in a little while, so I'm a bit rusty. Actually, you know what? There's a couple of things I wanted to, like, world-building-wise talk about. So, as you all know, I'm running Dungeons & Dragons for my friends. And I do so on, like, Saturdays and whatnot. I don't think I've talked about it in a while, but I think I want to tell some of the stories from it, because it's been really, really fun. And more importantly, and more interestingly, to be frank, there's some funny shenanigans that happen in relation to my luck. Now, I think I've talked about it in the past, but the world has additional magic systems to the ones that already exist, so there's an entire additional section just called Carnomancy, which is magic with flesh. I realize I just returned to the main world. Oh, that crashed the game. Whoopsie. Silly me. Anyway, it'll be fine. I'm sure the game's saved after the teleport. It usually does. But yeah, there's been so much just absolutely absurd bullcrap that has happened. Where I think a great example of this is the insane luck that my players have. The rolls that they have been getting are beyond absurd, right? So when I roll for them, they get hundreds repeatedly over and over again. Oh, cool. Great. I don't have to redo everything. When I roll for my NPCs, ones, fives. Last session, right as we ended, I did a combat. There were 15 enemies. You heard that right, 15. The reason for that? Honestly, there wasn't a really good reason. Okay, no, there is a good reason, and it's because I'm freaking unlucky as all heaven. I am not joking when I say I may be the unluckiest man alive. Anyway, it's not too crazy, but every single one of these enemies, almost all 15 of them, miss every single shot. It was absurd. Like, I couldn't even believe something like that would end up happening, but it did. And it was infuriating. Because I wanted to actually have an interesting, difficult combat encounter. So this is a party of 6 players, by the way. They're all level 5 right now. Maybe level 6. No, level 5. Wait a minute. Yeah, they're level 6. Anyway, party level 6 players. The thing is, they have the power to kill a dragon at this point, right? Like, a couple of them are basically min-maxers. Which is cool, by the way. I'm really glad. And the ones who know more about D&D are helping the others, like, learn good, effective strategies to make their class, in particular, better. Which is awesome, and I love it so much. They're also just, like, great role players, even though most of them are fairly new to D&D. They love it. They're great. It's amazing. It's probably the best. I got really lucky with the party of players I got, essentially. Insane luck with these people. Anyway. That's not important right now. What I really care about is the fact that they, why don't I have... Okay, whatever. What I really care about is I'm talking about the rules right now, right? I faced them against 15 medium health enemies. These are things that they could probably kill in 2 hits because, well, that's kind of the way that we do combat. It's kind of like fighting a bunch of kobolds. It's the way to make it a fair combat, right? One of the ways that I have, anyway. So, they're facing these guys, and I kid you not, they hit a grand total of 2 times. Multiple of them have multi-attack, which meant they would attack multiple times in a single turn. Several of them are spellcasters with, by the way, minimum +6 to hit. I'm not joking. That was the minimum bonus that I had given to these things. Because, frankly, that's reasonable for this stage of the game anyway. And 2 hits. One was a spell, and one was a regular melee attack. And it was really surprising that I whiffed so hard with the rolls. Obviously great for the players because it means that they've pretty much guaranteed a victory. Unless they all roll nat ones next time, but that literally has never happened yet. Their rolls have all been good the entire freaking time. It's amazing. Anyway. They managed to literally critically hit. They attack a scouting party one. It's just like a single guy by himself. Attack him. The guy attacking, Chromatic Orb, 3rd level, freaking crits and does like 80 damage in a single hit, instantly annihilating the poor guy. He reduces him to nothing but freaking charred corpse because he cast the lightning variant of Chromatic Orb. So, you know, already incredibly, absurdly powerful stuff. And then beyond that, this is the party wizard, so he's already flying around and doing crap. They're in a mountain range type area, by the way. Looking for certain disappeared individuals who have gone missing and basically are indebted to some other individuals in the underground. And they figured it might be a wise idea to investigate and potentially earn a reward from it. Of course, not a bad idea. How many is this? 25, you know, okay, that's safe. Perfectly safe, actually. Let's go. So this wand is even more powerful than it was before now. Anyhow, fun session. What I haven't talked about is the loot table rolls that these idiots have freaking managed to achieve, because they are beyond absurd, okay? When I'm saying beyond absurd, I mean you will never see anything like this ever again outside of this campaign. And I mean that when I say it. These guys have rolled a total of like 5 100s when it comes to percentile dice that I'm using to determine the outcomes of certain situations, which wouldn't be a problem if it, you know, wasn't for the fact that they kind of like, well, how do I explain this? They kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's just so absurd to me. Okay. They mixed a bunch of random potions together. I figure, okay, well, if they mix these together, they might just detonate. So I'm going to roll percentile die, use the DMG as a little bit of a guide. Freaking 86, 90, 100, 100 again. By the way, 200s in the same freaking set of rolls. Like, it was in one session, we got 200s. And it wasn't even like a longer session. It was like 2 hours or 2.5 hours. It was short for our party. It might seem long, it's not. Anyway, it was just incredible to me that how lucky they had been rolling, even at the start of this campaign. The number of critical successes that they have had and critical fails that I have made it so that I have to literally balance around the bad luck that I have. Because at this point, it's not even just like a, oh, funny, haha, I'm unlucky type thing. It is genuinely proven statistically that I am the unluckiest man in our group. And that sucks because I'm the DM, so I have to balance encounters around it. And I've taken most of it to try and not fudge rolls, which is something that I'm trying to do. It's not easy to do. Sometimes you really, really want to. But, oh, frick. Well, okay. I got rid of all my pheromone. I'll get more. Nice thing about Noita, you can just refill your potions. Anyway, I have rolled so many more nat 1s than anything else, and they have rolled so many more nat 20s than anything else. It's really just actually incredible, because it means that they get to do a lot of really cool stuff. So something that I've really been trying to do is show what I'm planning to the players, give them information, and then once they are exposed to the experience that I was foreshadowing, I'm hoping that I've given them enough info that they'll have a sudden, like, oh, or realization type moment. And as far as I can tell, I've done that decently well with a couple of parts. Because we've already encountered some things like that. Nothing major yet, since we're still relatively early on. None of the players' backstories have had super major reveals or anything, but it's been going pretty nice, so, you know, I'm enjoying this crap a lot. And according to them, they are too, because everybody's freaking excited whenever we have D&D. So I don't know, I'm just, like, happy. Been having a lot of fun doing that crap. Let's see here, what else is there to talk about? Ooh, okay, I could do character backstories, or current circumstances. I wonder which ones would be nice to do right this instant, though. Because I can't really think of what the greatest idea would be. 770. Grab that extra perk slot. I've already talked about this world before, and a lot of people have, like, stayed and listened to it. So I might just keep doing that in a little bit. But, genuinely, these players are just incredible. Like, they interact with it very well. And I think the reason why is because they all came in expecting this particular experience, and it was an experience that they all sort of shared the desire to have. And it's awesome, it's wonderful. I really freaking love that fact. The players are all somewhat understanding of the fact that they are playing semi-serious characters. And there's funny comedic moments that we encounter often, but they have the understanding of roleplay. They're doing it really well. They're playing their characters as best as they can, and again, they're doing a great job. Like, they're incredibly good at playing the characters as best as they can. Oh, an add trigger. Okay. Fun. I'm willing to get rid of Deadly Heal for an add trigger. That's nuts. Love that spell. Anyway, it's amazing to experience it. Because one of my players is also a person who does DMing. Not just, like, uncommonly, but is in the making of another full campaign right now. Which is great. And the fun thing is, his character is like a hillbilly who's freaking stupid and has lived in the freaking forest his entire life. Obviously, there's other more important backstory elements that are unrelated to that right now, but the important part is he knows what the most reasonable decision would be as a person, but for his character, he chooses specifically to take the decision that makes sense. And it's really hard for him to do that, as he has stated to me. Because, holy frick, sometimes the decisions are not smart. Ooh, add mana. Always, always take add mana. Yeah, whatever. Oh, max HP up, you say. All that. I'm gonna start doing some crap. Hold on. Okay, I thought that was Healthium for a second. Holy crap. Let me just try and get a good amount of Rozier here. See what I can do with that. No, okay, here's what I'll do instead. Vomit out some healing juice. Make this man bonk me a couple times. I don't think I can even harm him with, like... Oh wow, I have too many more loves. I'd really like if you could stack more than one of these on me, but whatever. Oh, he died. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. And I messed it up. Oh well, that's fine. Anyway, that's also something that's consistent with some other player characters. There's a character who's just completely obsessed with coffee and caffeine in general, who's been playing their character relatively well. They are somewhat nosy, but they have a very big secret that they're trying to hide, or they were trying to hide, which has now been somewhat revealed to some of the party. That of the fact that they worship a god. Or more accurately, the god that they worship. Piece of information that they barely truly understand themselves. Or more accurately, they don't understand fully themselves. Which allows for a lot of fun plot point stuff. And whatnots. Anyhow, I can't stop gushing about it. It's just amazing to me. It's such an enjoyable group to play the game with, and honestly, I think that I could not have wished for a better group. I was expecting, to be honest, that they wouldn't even catch on to a lot of the plot points that I was trying to throw at them, because some of them felt a little too convoluted for just like regular things, but they go straight for it. And it's helped in part by the fact that, again, one of the players does DMing. They've done it in the past, and they know what sort of to look for, I think. It's really interesting and wonderful to me. Is that Berserkium and Acceleration or Hastium? Can't tell which of the two. And I doubt we're gonna get either. We might want that light shot. Nah, it's fine. We're fine. We don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. Anyway, we're trying not to break reroll machines for a little while, just until after I get an F-ton of different perks loaded in, so that I can, like, go back and collect 14 million shields without having to perk dupe immediately. Alright, back to the interesting stuff. And by interesting stuff, I of course mean me gushing for another, like, 5 minutes before I end this episode. Man, I'm just so glad I got these players, because they're just so wonderful. They're all generally awesome people in real life, and they play their characters relatively in reflection of the fact that they are good people. I don't think any of them are playing generally evil characters, at least as far as I can tell. One of them might go down the more evil, villainous route, but we'll see how that goes. And it's just nice. Like, I've given the option for them to be evil if they want to. I think that is not only something that they should do if they want to, but something that would be really interesting for me to run. Because, oh, frick you, game. Because I haven't run evil stuff before very much. So it would be interesting to me to learn how to do that. Anyway, that's sort of just my what do you even call this? Deranged ramblings about people. I just love this group, man. They're awesome people. I love them. They're great. And I doubt most of them would watch this video. I know one of them sometimes tunes into these, so if he's watching this, you know who you are. It's the other guy who does DMing. He's awesome. Really, that entire group is amazing. Like, one of them is a little bit kind of more comedic energy. They're a gambler. They're like gambler paladin dedicated, but they have a really awesome like story that I kind of helped them make. Of course, I also kind of forced some of my own elements into it, so you know, I kind of feel a little bit guilty about that one. But I'm sure they're fine with it, considering the fact that they not only listened to the ideas that I had for it, but also agreed to it greatly. What I'm excited for is when we get deeper into the backstories, because at that point, a lot of really interesting stuff will already have happened, and a lot of incredible reveals will occur. It should be in the next couple of sessions, actually, where we should end up seeing something really interesting that'll prelude towards something far more important later on. It's got something to do with the gods in the pantheon of the world. And by pantheon, I of course just mean the gods, because there isn't really a true pantheon of sorts. I'll try and explain it, but I don't think I have the ability to do it here without spoiling it for my players, which is the worst part of this, is I don't have anybody who I can tell this to without spoiling it for my players, or potentially spoiling it for them, which, unfortunate. On the other hand, I might do it anyway just because it's like really, really cool, and I really want to... whatever. Thanks for watching, if you indeed listened to my deranged ramblings used as background noise or whatever. I think I'm doing great now. Hopefully I'll get the RLcraft thing out tomorrow. I might not. It was really just raiding the Lost Cities Dimension thing. It's not super interesting. Most of it, anyway. So, thanks for watching, and most importantly, you have a nice day. Bye!